Who's next? Yes, ma'am.
When you have a staff that is used to micromanaging your entire ACS database, how do you go about, because I'm getting the impression from the city that we have purchased it but we haven't launched it. How do you go about encouraging the non-micromanagement of that? Because I see that as a free form.
We have a waterboarding upgrade that you can.
You get a new one. Christy.
Sure. So sometimes if you start the really, really big picture, not just how do we not micromanage the city, but look at it as a culture. So the culture on your staff or in a section of your staff is doing what and why. You know, okay, maybe that brings us to micromanaging. What is the culture? What's the why? You know, why don't we want them to micromanage this? Well, because the vision behind it is, you know, X, Y, and Z, which is why we're purchasing the city. And you're going to have to begin to start with a bit of a culture shift and start communicating the vision of why we're doing this in the first place. And here's our plan. So here's how we can do it. And that's going to come alongside implementing the city, because that vision and agreement with that vision is going to drive the motivation for the behavior changes. Anybody else? We don't have planned questions.
I'll add on to, I don't want to.
Add on.
I think the culture shift is something that you have to identify, and you know, you can see the problem. You probably need to dig deeper and okay, well, why are we micromanaging? You know, I mean, it's like Christy's right on, and why don't we want to micromanage? My guess is that they'll know that. Like when you bring it up, like they'll know it, but there's something inside of them that is making them micromanage, and trying to get down to that is really going to give you the solution then. So if we think like, well, they're micromanaging because there was this event that happened 3 years ago that just exploded, and they feel like they can't trust people now, or they're really afraid that someone is going to, I mean, in this case, you were talking specifically with the database, you know, they're very concerned about security, or, you know, and they may be legitimate, you know, they might, I can see reasons for locking down your ACS database, but the city is a different tool. It's not the ACS database. So part of your job in getting past that might be to communicate, it's good that we lock this down. It's good that we're micromanaging this. This is not that though, and that's why. So those are just some thoughts that come to my mind too. And in your determining of why, it's always good to not assume and actually go ask and listen and hear some of those reasons. And sometimes that solves the problem in of itself. It's just the being heard and being validated. And if I feel like you can hear me and see me, then I'll go that direction with you. So sometimes that solves it. But sometimes we think the issue's different than it really is. And asking the why and really listening and hearing people is going to get to the bottom of it.